Alrighty guys, so I thought I'd talk a bit about what's the difference between a compound bow and a recurve bow. Okay, so the first thing you need to think about is that a compound bow is like a sniper rifle, and a recurve bow you could say is like a handgun. Now everybody knows that a sniper rifle is more accurate than a handgun, but it does not mean that you cannot be accurate with a handgun. And the Olympic archers are proof of that. So so you can think the difference is it's a lot easier to be accurate with a compound than it is to be with a recurve, just the same as it's a lot easier to be accurate with a sniper rifle than it is to be with a handgun. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be accurate though. So the difference between a recurve and a compound draw is that the further I pull back with a recurve, the harder it gets. So here is at its peak. It's peaking at its maximum weight right there. With a compound bow, it's a little bit more different. So it peaks right here and then drops off. And now I'm holding less weight than what I did hold right here. So with the compound bow, the cam acts as a pulley system that when you come to full draw, that the weight comes off the string and gets put onto the cables. So at full draw, this bow is only holding 65% of its draw weight, which is 60 pounds. So 65, I don't know what that'll be, 45 pounds or something maybe. I'm no mathematician, but I'm holding less at the end than what I did when it shoots. Whereas with the recurve, it's heavier at the end. So that's the main thing. Next thing is tuning ability. With the recurve, you have no way of knowing how far back I'm pulling. Is this as far back or is this far? I don't know how far to pull back. So with a recurve, they use a clicker. And you'll put your arrow through there. And then when the arrow pulls back far enough, it'll click and tell you you're at your perfect draw length. So that's how you get your draw length with a recurve. With the compound, it's a bit more locked in. And on the cams, they have stoppers. So when you rotate the string around, it hits the string and it can't go any further. So you've got a locked in draw length, making it a little bit more precise because you're pulling back exactly the same distance every time. So that's another thing that makes the compound bow a little bit more accurate, easier to be accurate because you've got a locked in draw length. Next thing with the recurve is that we don't have a really adjustable rest. The only way you can adjust it is in and out. So you only have the left and a right adjustment. And that's with your plunger button and your plunger button tension. So if you want to raise or lower your arrow flight to tune it, you have to play with your knocking height with the recurve. You cannot adjust your rest. So, and what that means when you're at full draw, so if you hold it lower or if you hold it higher, it's going to have a different feel. So moving your knocking point up and down will change the feel of your bow. So some people might like this feeling, but it's not tuned right. So then they have to move it to shoot it how they don't like. That's another reason why the compound bow is a little bit more accurate, because with the compound bow, we have a rest that is completely adjustable. We can move it up, down, left and right, and tension. So that means we can use the D-loop height to get our perfect feel. So it feels perfect, and then once it feels perfect and you've got everything right on your D-loop, you can adjust the bow in with your rest to get it perfect, so it absolutely feels perfect for you. Another reason why it's easy to be accurate with the compound. Now, a couple of rules with the compound. Compound is not allowed in the Olympics, but the recurve is. With the sight, you're allowed to have a magnification sight on your compound, and you're not allowed to have a magnification on your recurve bow. So that's another reason why it's kind of like a sniper rifle, because this has a scope on it and that just has a crosshair at the end of the handgun that you line up. So that's another reason why it's a lot easier to be accurate with the compound than it is to be with the recurve. The compound bow has a peep sight. So when you draw back with a recurve, you have to line the string up with your eye and the string up with your rest to make sure it's all in line. With the compound bow, you look through your peep sight and line your peep sight up with your scope, making that step a lot easier too. So that means it's a lot easier to get alignment with a compound bow than it is to get a recurve bow. So that's a little bit about the compound and recurve bow. You can probably tell I'm a little bit biased to the compound bow, as I like to shoot the compound bow. But yeah, if you want to know the difference, that's the difference. One's like a handgun and one's like a sniper rifle. I'm not saying that you can't be accurate with a handgun, but it's a lot easier to be accurate with a sniper rifle. Alright guys, so if you like this short little video, hit the like button for us, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons, and I'll see you soon for another video.